Sunday, you're going to want to crack open a cold one. Because it's going to get hot as we head into WWE's Raw exclusive pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell. You know, you got these gimmick pay-per-views. You know, sometimes it's just like, man, it's totally overkill.
We're getting closer and closer to what I said. We got almost half the matches are in Hell in a Cell.
Almost half. But, you know, there's really only 2 Hell in a Cell matches that people really care about. The third one could be a surprise. But this is where we do our predictions, where we decide who we think is going to win.
Yes.
And then, based on how many differences we have,
Predictify.
we decide a wager. So stay tuned for that one. But let's go on and start talking about who we think is going to win some matches. Take it away.
WWE recently announced online there's going to be a pre-show match. It's going to be a 6-man tag match from the Raw's Cruiserweight division.
This is exciting. I mean, we don't get a lot of differential in the Cruiserweight division on Raw, so it's nice to see that they're starting to branch out and do something different than just TJ Perkins versus Brian Kendrick or Rich Swann versus somebody.
Yeah, so we got Cedric Alexander, Sin Cara, and Lince Dorado taking on Arya Daivari, Tony Nese, and Drew Gulak.
Yeah. So, lots of different styles. I think the Lince, Sin Cara, and Cedric team is, like, about as flippy as it gets in the Cruiserweight division. But then you have a very well-rounded team on the heel side.
Yeah. Who do you think is going to take this one?
I'm going to give it to the heels.
You're going to give it to Gulak and his boy?
I think, you know, Gulak hasn't gotten a win on Raw yet. I think Nese has gotten 1. And Arya's only been on TV like once since the Cruiserweight Classic. So I'm going to say this is going to be the first time we'll see Gulak getting a win. You know, you don't really have to do much more to put over the other 3 guys. The only thing that's kind of making me sway is that Sin Cara just joined the division. So there's a good chance the faces could win. But yeah, I'm going with the heels.
Yeah, I had a hard time deciding this one. And I'm still like flipping back and forth in my head.
It's a tough call.
Because it seems to be like a lot of the times the Cruiserweight division is just kind of like, also, if you watched Midweek Wrap Up, we talked about the Raw's kind of dumbing down of the Cruiserweight division. Yeah. It also seems to be like they're baby feeding everyone, like, oh, here's the guys you liked on the Cruiserweight division, watch them all win.
Yeah, no, the one thing I find funny, like, even though I don't care too much about him, Noam Dar hasn't shown up on Raw.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that they're waiting until the tapings in Scotland.
Oh.
To have him debut.
That's brilliant. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, it does. So, I think I'm going to go... Yeah, you know what? I'm going to agree with you.
Go with the heels?
I'm going to go, and it's basically because Drew Gulak's one of my boys, and Tony Nese beat Anthony Bennett in the Cruiserweight Classic.
And Arya Daivari's cool.
Meh. I like Sean better.
We don't have Thomas's predictions as of yet, so if we get them by the time this video goes up, you'll be seeing his predictions pop up in between us, so you can keep track of it that way.
It's in post.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the main pay-per-view matches.
Alright, let's do it.
Alright. We're going to have a rematch between Bayley and Dana Brooke.
Yeah, after that arm wrestling fiasco on Monday.
This is spawning. This is basically saying, like, okay, is Bayley with an injured shoulder good enough to beat Dana Brooke without an injured shoulder?
Yeah.
It's about as simple as this story gets.
I guess so.
You know, it's just like, hey, we've seen Bayley beat Dana Brooke.
Yeah.
But can she do it with one of her shoulders? Is got an ouchie on it. I'm going with Bayley.
I'm going with Bayley. I can almost guarantee there's a Bayley in between us for Thomas's vote. Put your arm down. Don't touch Bayley. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, she's actually down there, but yeah, I feel like that. This is just to take time to lead into whoever Bayley's going to face for the women's championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, Bayley all the way.
Yeah. Alright, we got some tag team action as Enzo and Cass go 2 against 2 against the club. The club. Because Raw needs the Ascension.
Are you going with Enzo and Cass?
Yeah.
I'm going with Enzo and Cass.
We might not have to wager this one.
We might not have to do it this. This is just. I feel so bad for Gallows and Anderson because they are so fucking good, and they ruined them. In true WWE fashion, you have ruined a part of what is the most popular thing in wrestling nowadays. They're from the goddamn Bullet Club. How do you fuck that up?
Put Vinnie Mac in charge.
Oh, it's so frustrating.
Who gives an NWA champion winning legend like Dusty Rhodes yellow polka dots?
Well, I mean, Dusty made it work, though. The club's trying to make it work, but then they do stuff like the whole day, and it's just like, stop with that shit.
I don't know. I really do feel like this one could go either way. Because I feel like...
I mean, they're trying to hype up the fact that the club is like the new big bad team.
The fun police. I feel like it could be one of those things where they want to give us that little surprise. Oh, whoa, look, the club.
Yeah.
Before they go back to jobbing out on Raw again.
And we did have Enzo go over on Anderson on Raw. Plus, they had the really good solidarity moment with the crowd when their microphones didn't work. So, I mean, Enzo and Cass do have a lot of momentum going into this match. So it would, in all seriousness, make sense to have the club kind of shut that down.
Yeah.
And make them seem like a viable threat.
Yeah, and I totally would agree on most accounts, but according to where I think everything is heading after the pay-per-view, I'm going to put a no on that one.
Well, we'll wait and see.
Alright, in other tag team action, we have the WWE World Tag Team Champions. The New Day.
Yep.
Defending against
Cesaro.
And gross. Hot garbage.
Are you gonna vote for Sheamus? I'm legit.
Hell no!
I'm legit curious if it's. I mean, here's okay. Are you voting for Cesaro?
No, because that's a vote for Sheamus. Sorry, Claudio. I cannot do it.
Okay.
I cannot do it.
Okay.
New Day.
Oh man.
You've got roughly 45 days to go.
Little less than 2 months. That's all you gotta do. It has to happen at this point because I'm going to be so fucking livid if Cesaro and Sheamus are the ones that take the goddamn tag titles when they fucking ruin the club. So I'm voting for the New Day.
You're poking yourself really
I'm
hard.
very angry because Raw fucks everything up.
It's true. Okay. Here's my point. This is where I'm trying to go.
All right, you trying to make sense of this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's and this is long-term thinking here.
Okay, go for it.
Because I'm skipping all the way to Survivor Series.
All right, well,
That's
our next stop after Hell in a Cell.
SmackDown's winning the tag team Survivor Series match potentially.
Okay.
This goes either way. No, I take that back. Raw is going to win the SmackDown's tag team Survivor Series match. I forgot. Mojo Rawley's on that team, so they cannot win. But
what if Sheamus is on the other side?
It doesn't matter.
What team are you gonna vote for if you have to pick between Sheamus and Mojo Rawley?
Sheamus, all the way.
Wow, you didn't skip a beat on that one.
Sheamus doesn't do a stupid fucking hammer dance.
That's fair.
Or wear Zubaz.
Or run around like a moron.
Yeah. No, here's the deal though. We're
Okay.
gonna have the 5 teams on Raw. The 2 sole surviving teams on Raw are going to be the New Day and Enzo and Cass. That's gonna let Enzo and Cass challenge the New Day for the titles at the next Raw pay-per-view.
Oh, I like that idea.
That's also why I'm going with Enzo and Cass over the club.
So okay, so is it gonna be? It's just gonna be 2 members of the New Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's gonna be 10
Yeah,
against 10.
okay, yeah. It has to be. It has to be all tag teams, unless on SmackDown we get Spirit Squad and Miz.
Yeah, whichever one it is.
So
that's where my
Okay.
thinking is going to that.
I like that. I like let's do that. I'm cool with that.
All right.
You can let Enzo and Cass take the title off the New Day. I'm okay with this.
With the 6-man tag, the women's match. Sorry, my bad.
Whoa.
Can we bleep that out?
No, man,
Can
that's
we do the cuss word bleep in post?
what.
We should try that. That's funny.
Okay.
Anytime we say that word, I'm not even going to say it again, so when we bleep it out, you're not even going to know unless you know.
You don't need to know.
Yeah.
It's a bad word.
And then 2 tag matches. So we're halfway through the pay-per-view at this point.
We got all championships from this point on.
Yeah, no, last one was a championship too, so.
Yeah.
We're coasting on the championship train.
We are indeed.
And we're going to keep things going with the first of 3 Hell in a Cell matches. United States Championship. Roman Reigns is going to get matchked all over the cell by Rusev.
But he's still going to retain the U.S. Championship.
Is that what you think?
Yeah.
You know Roman Reigns?
They're not going to give Roman Reigns a championship and have him lose it a month later. It's not going to happen.
This is going to be our first...
You're going okay.
This is
All
going to
right.
be our first
You going Rusev?
discrepancy. I'm
All
going Rusev. I'm going to say he's going to matchka all over that cell.
Don't get me wrong, man. I want Rusev to win so bad.
He's matchkaing Roman. He's matchkaing the cell.
They're
They're going to have to fly in a second cell for the pay-per-view. Because that's how bad he's going to beat Roman, is the cell won't even be usable.
Ooh. We're going to get like that 3-tiered cage that
From
fucking-
WCW.
From WCW.
But the catch is, each Hell in a Cell match is going to be in one of those cages.
We just get like the old Hell in a Cell on top of the new Hell in a Cell?
No, we're definitely going to have that 3-tiered Hell in a Cell type thing WCW had.
Okay.
And then we're going to have the World Championship match happening in the bottom one, the Women's Championship match happening in the middle one, and then Rusev and Roman Reigns fighting in that tiny box.
Oh God. I just the horrible image in my head is like mega spear or some sort of power bomb that like fucking Roman Reigns and Rusev come crashing down onto poor Charlotte and Sasha, and they all just fucking crumble down in the middle of Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens.
All I imagined
It's
was
just
like
awful.
the idea of like a Viking and a barbarian fighting in a phone booth.
That's because it's that tiny little cage.
Yeah, it's a small cage.
Oh God.
It's like barely big enough for 2 people.
That's funny.
Okay, aside from the jokes, I'm going Rusev.
I'm going Roman Reigns
Basically because in Machka I trust.
Well, I want to trust in Machka, but I know that Raw likes to fuck things up. That's gonna be my running theme for Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. All right.
Moving on.
Now we have one of the championship matches that has probably the most awkward lead up to a pay-per-view match in the challenger just blatantly requesting
Yeah.
the champion to let him win.
I said it on Raw. I don't think I've ever seen this ever in wrestling.
Yeah.
Not between like opponents, but like partners maybe. But never have I ever heard someone go, "Please just let me win."
Yeah. So we have Brian Kendrick challenging T.J. Perkins for the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yep.
Who do you think's taking this one?
I'm going with Brian Kendrick.
You're going with Brian Kendrick.
I am.
We're going to diversify again then, because
Okay.
I'm going with T.J. Perkins.
All right.
I've gone over my little storyline that I'm telling you is going to happen.
True.
And it involves what's going to happen is Brian Kendrick is going to fight his heart out, and T.J. Perkins is still going to win. That, or T.J. Perkins is just going to do a super quick finish on Brian Kendrick, and he's going to be completely embarrassed and walk away.
I'm gonna be really upset if that's what happens. If it's like
But either one of those, like just like a mediocre cruiserweight division on Raw match happens, and that's at the end of it. It's a pay-per-view. It's got to be something different.
Yeah.
Either one of those, though, if either Kendrick is disheartened from trying as hard as he can, or if he's embarrassed for losing so quickly, those are both catalysts for him to leave. So in about 2 months' time, he can pop up on SmackDown.
All right.
Or 3 months. Around, 2 weeks before the Rumble. Ish.
All right.
So I'm going Perkins.
All right. I'm going Kendrick just because the storyline's too fucking weird, and it wouldn't surprise me if maybe Kendrick's just been playing fucking possum this whole time, and he's just like giving T.J. Perkins the runaround. He's gonna fucking demolish T.J. Perkins.
I wouldn't mind seeing it happen. I'm a Kendrick fan, so
I like them both.
Anybody who carries a pirate flag to the ring is a friend of mine.
I'm very intrigued where this story's going. So.
Yeah. Hell in a Cell match 2.
Those.
WWE Universal Championship.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens defends against Seth Rollins. I mean,
this is another one of those ones that could go either way.
And what gets me is I wish I was more excited for this one.
Yeah, I agree.
They've done a really poor job building this one up for excitement value.
For me, I'm
too much especially the last 2 weeks. Too much of the build-up has revolved around Chris Jericho being the center point of everything.
Yes.
And we were afraid of no matter where Kevin Owens went, Sami Zayn was going to be involved in storyline stuff.
Don't worry,
Kevin
Sami's
Owens.
going against Braun Strowman.
Somewhere. Is that happening in the pay-per-view too?
No, it's not. No.
Don't be surprised if they add that to the pre-show.
Yeah, no, that'll.
And which one I'm voting for Braun.
I'm voting for Sami.
Who knows?
Right then and there, we have another discrepancy if the match ends up happening.
Yeah. But yeah, so much of this is revolved around Jericho. It seems now that the Universal title is a secondary thought to the storyline.
I feel like they're so lost with the fact that they don't have Finn. I feel like there's a chance that they were so set on having Finn do this long run as champion, going against Jericho, going against Owens, a rematch against Rollins. They just had so much in play that when Finn got hurt,
you can totally see this Hell in a Cell entrance where Finn is painted like a Ouija board.
at least on his chest.
Yeah.
I feel like they were so set on that they've really kind of lost their way on holy shit, what the fuck do we do?
Yeah, and it's a lot of not to say it's a bad thing because Jericho has really shined since the brand split.
Oh yeah, no, he's doing some of his best stuff.
The resurgence of Jericho, and I feel like it's sort of they're trying to capitalize on it in the same way they did with the New Day, where it's people are liking this stuff. Let's just keep running with it. Let's keep doing this because people enjoy it, and people do. People are enjoying the list of Jericho and Drink It In Man and stupid scarves and his creepy mustache. All of it's really working for him. But
what it's not doing
is helping get over the fact that this is supposed to be an exciting match over the WWE Universal Championship.
Yeah, really, what this does, I mean, if they had done it a bit better, because Seth Rollins is always going to expect that Triple H and or Stephanie has it out for him.
Yeah.
So on that side, you have the potential of another Triple H run-in that screws over Seth Rollins. But, had they done a little bit better to, maybe even having Triple H show up once, or maybe even having Jericho kind of side with Seth Rollins at one point, is now you kind of have that wavering friendship as to whether or not Jericho's really on the same side as Kevin Owens. If that had been the thing, I think that would make this match a bit more interesting. Is if we're wondering whether or not, Owens can rely on Jericho, or if we have someone who could potentially screw either competitor, it might have a little bit more of a oh man, what's gonna happen type of a thing.
Yeah.
But the fact that they've focused so much on Jericho's funny and the list of Jericho thing is funny, but we haven't. I don't feel like we care about Rollins and Owens at this point. It's just
or
it's
specifically the fact that they're fighting over a championship belt.
Yeah, a championship belt that no one really gave a shit about anyway.
It seems like they're fighting just because they have beef. That Rollins keeps trying to start shit with them, but not because there's a belt on the line.
Yeah.
With that being said, because there's a belt on the line, I'm going Kevin Owens.
I'm going Kevin Owens also.
Yeah, and just because it's obvious to me that the next feud, whatever TLC or whatever,
they're building up
Owens Jericho,
and they're building up Rollins versus Triple H.
Jericho implodes.
Yeah.
It's like WrestleMania 5 all over again.
So yeah, I will say I'm excited to see what Rollins and Owens can do inside Hell in a Cell, because thinking about the possibilities, it's awesome. I'm just not necessarily excited for. It's weird to say. I'm excited to see what happens, but not for storyline's sake.
Yeah.
So
here we are. One match left.
There's a lot of wonder if this is going to be the main event.
And I'm putting my money right now on the table that this is main eventing the pay-per-view.
It really has to.
It should. It doesn't have to. It's WWE. It's Raw pay-per-view.
Raw knows how to fuck things up.
That being said, just because they haven't specifically said one match or the other is the main event of the pay-per-view.
They just said it's a triple main event because we have 3 Hell in a Cell matches.
So we're gonna have the Cell, and I think each Cell match is gonna be split apart from the other ones.
I see Rusev Roman opening the pay-per-view.
Yeah. And so it's each time the Cell comes down, you're gonna have that. Which match is it gonna be? It's gonna be. It's like the Elimination Chamber sort of thing. It's like the Cell comes down, so then you have to sit and wait. Like, okay, we know there's 3 Cell matches. Which Cell match is it gonna be?
Yeah.
Then the first person's music hits, and you go, holy crap! Or they cut to the video package, and you go, holy crap! This is number 1. Okay, then that means even more mystery to what's number 2. And then when number 2 comes out, then obviously number 3 is. You'll know which one the main event match is, and it's going to be Sasha versus Charlotte. I'm sorry, it should be, because that would put... maybe that could be a little bit detrimental, because that might be putting too much pressure on them. And we know that this seems like now, the harder they try, the more prone they are to messing up.
Yeah, see, and this is a completely new environment, because... and this is exactly a reason why it needs to be the main event, is because it is a first time ever. Yep. There's never been a women's Hell in a Cell match. There's been women's cage matches before, but this is probably the most brutal match we've seen women in ever
in WWE.
Yeah.
We've had one women's cage match, I think.
Yeah, we've had a cage match.
And a couple hardcore matches. One tag team women's tables match.
Yeah, and that's about the extent. I think we might have had a couple of cage matches, but it hasn't been to the level of something.
I can only think of one. I'm pretty sure it was Lita versus Victoria on a Raw Roulette night when Bischoff was in charge of things.
For some reason, I see Trish inside of a cage.
Maybe. I think she might have interfered in a Christian Jericho
possibly
match.
Regardless, though, this is a big thing, and it's.
And I'm making a couple bold predictions.
All right.
Sasha is going to potentially get injured. Not because of screwing up, but I feel like they're going to attempt to emulate some sort of a spot that's happened previously. I'm not saying like thrown off the top of Hell in a Cell, but also at the same time,
That's something we're not going to see in this.
you realize, well, no, it happened at Mania. That's
Shane
once a
already
decade.
Did it. Yeah, Shane already did it this year. We're not seeing anybody go to the top of the cell.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see somebody go to the top. Falling off the top is another story. Rollins is a climber.
He did it with Ambrose.
But I feel like we're going to see Sasha emulate some spot that has happened in a previous Hell in a Cell. And it's dangerous because if you look at the caliber of 90% of the guys who've been in Hell in a Cell matches, you're looking at Triple H, Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, Batista. The theme here is these are all big guys.
John Cena, Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt.
With the exception of a handful of the smaller guys, the Rollins, Ambrose, Shawn Michaels, Edge. It's Hell in a Cell's basically been mostly big dudes.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that potentially there's going to be an emulation of a spot, and it could end up being a poor choice.
Yeah, no, the fact that Sasha is legitimately the smallest person to ever be in a Hell in a Cell match now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Charlotte's probably number 2.
Maybe.
Was Rey Mysterio ever in a Hell in a Cell? I don't think Rey Mysterio ever Hell in a Cell'd.
I don't know. That's CM Punk.
Yeah, CM Punk's not that big either, but I think he's bigger than Charlotte.
Fair.
I think the next closest one will be Cody Rhodes.
Cody, yeah.
Cody's pretty small. He's pretty slender.
Yeah.
On top of that, I'm going to make the prediction that Charlotte is going to bleed. Charlotte's going to pull a Rick.
Is she gonna flare?
She's gonna Crimson Mask.
She's gonna flare it, dude.
And it's gonna get in her hair and it's gonna turn pink.
I'm so nervous for this match. I'm so excited for this match. I don't know what to expect, and I don't want to put a bunch of thoughts in my head, and you're not helping right now. I don't know.
Since you don't know, we're going to you first. Who's winning?
I gotta go with Sasha.
Yeah.
You fucking kidding me?
I'm also going Sasha Banks.
She wasn't even supposed to lose the championship necessarily at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So this was probably supposed to be just a, how much bigger of a match can I beat Charlotte in, to keep the title, and then it's gonna be a more friendly version of the best women's feud in NXT. We're gonna get Sasha versus Bayley again.
Yeah.
That's gonna be the big thing headed through the beginning of next year. And Charlotte's done it. Charlotte has had her time as champion. She doesn't need it again.
Yeah, and this kind of plays into where I think we're going after this. Is I think Charlotte's about to hit a run of bad luck.
Oh,
because
okay.
I think Charlotte is going to be the one woman on Raw who doesn't qualify for being on the Survivor Series team.
Oh.
I think they're going to say like, "Hey Sasha, you're the champion. You do your thing. You lead the Survivor Series team." And Sasha's going to be like, "All right, Bayley, Dana, Nia Jax, Alicia Fox."
Okay.
No Charlotte. And maybe Charlotte even strings up trying to like, okay, what if I
maybe even Emma.
Yeah. What if I can beat Bayley? Then maybe I can be in the team. Bayley beats her. So okay, last ditch effort, but whatever, the week before Survivor Series. Oh, give me one more chance, Okay, beat Dana Brooke.
Oh.
She expects
I like that.
She expects the protege to lay down, and Dana Brooke goes, "No, this is my biggest opportunity in my career so far."
And you've been kind of a bitch to me.
And then Dana Brooke just goes crazy on her, and fucking we get.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. So
I like that idea.
I mean, I don't work for WWE. I don't know what's gonna happen. Hire me. Let's book some shit.
He's got some good shit.
Backseat booking. Yeah. So we're both going Sasha.
Yeah.
So I think as far as announced matches, we only have 2.
We've got the cruiserweights. Because you're going Perkins, I'm going Kendrick.
And then the United States Championship.
United States Championship. Okay, yeah, I think that's it.
Because you said you're going Owens, right?
Yeah, I'm going
Owens. All right. Yeah. So we only have 2 deliberations or 2 disputes.
Yeah. Differentials?
Differentiated opinions.
Whatever type of word you want to use.
So excuse us for a moment while we deliberate over an accurate punishment, I guess. A good wager. Because, at this point, the worst thing that could happen is one of us loses by 2. So it's going to be something a little, maybe a little more amped up for a potentially only 2-point lead.
So, we'll see you in a second. Alright. We've made the decision.
Yep.
We're gonna stray back to. I mean, it is Hell in a Cell, so we gotta get a little violent with it, right?
Absolutely.
I think it makes sense.
It's wrestling. You guys come to see the violence.
Yeah.
If you're wrestling fans.
The scary thing is that whenever it's violence, I end up getting it. So this worries me slightly. So with the fact that we do only have 2 differences as far as predictions, with a potential third one because we've already kind of set our votes if they do happen to do Braun versus Sammy.
On the pre-show.
So
it doesn't count if it's on the main card.
Yeah. So currently, with the way it is, we could either tie or one person's going to win by 2.
Yeah.
That's the way it's going to be. So we've decided to go with chair shots because it's synonymous with wrestling.
Yeah.
And we're very simply, if one of us wins by 2, the loser gets 2 chair shots from the winner. If we tie, though,
here's the little fun part.
We're not going to be delivering chair shots to each other. We're going to allow someone who, maybe we'll have Thomas. Maybe it'll be a new face you've never seen on the Wrestling Rundown.
I can, if I have a say in this, it very well could be a wrestler.
That's scary. But regardless, both of us will take 1 chair shot from a third party if a tie does happen to happen.
I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty sure a tie is going to happen.
There's a very good chance that that's going to happen.
I'm pretty sure a tie is going to happen. I'm like 99% positive a tie
this
is
is
going to happen.
This is a very...
Because I'm pretty sure I'm going to lose on the Rusev Roman Reigns one.
I'm almost positive I'm going to lose on TJ Perkins. So expect both of us to get a chair shot. There you go.
There's the sealed deal.
It's official.
Or post in the comments below if you want to hit us with a chair.
Sure, if you want to.
You have to live in the Portland, Oregon area. We're not flying anybody in.
Good call.
I mean, you can still post in the comments if you want to hit us with a chair.
Jamie, you can do it if you want.
Yeah.
If you're watching. But yeah, so that'll be the thing. That video will come out after Hell in a Cell, and that'll be over on Reasonable Wrestling Fans. So for now, thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe.
And click all those links down in the description. They send you to all of our social medias. They'll send you to the podcast where you can get all of our regular reviews. And they'll send you to Reasonable Wrestling Fans where you'll be able to find that punishment video when it comes out. That's Reasonable with a W.
Like wrestling.
Also, since you're over here on the YouTube, check out the playlist if you want to check out all of our other reviews. You got all those extra videos over on Reasonable Wrestling Fans. All types of stuff to watch. Post down in the comments who you think's going to win at Hell in a Cell. And
Slimy McNettars.
And we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next.
Fuck you, Steve.